Hey guys, welcome back. This War of Mine, great game that I've been playing. I'm going to kind of reboot this series because when I first started playing it and I put those couple episodes up, I had just bought the game and I really wasn't too sure on how to play it strategy-wise and stuff like that. I have about 100 hours into the game now, and I think I'm going to do a full playthrough if I can without getting killed and see how long we can survive and maybe share some of the strategies that I've been using up to this point. So I'm starting off this game with two people, Roman and Katya. Roman, he's a good guy to have because he's a soldier. He's a good fighter. He'll protect the house while Katya is out at night scavenging. And Katya is also a good bargainer, so she'll get more stuff per item when we start trading and stuff like that. So the purpose of this game is basically it's wartime, and during the day, you can't go out because there are snipers. At night, you go out and you scavenge everything you can. So right now, the way we're starting off is it's daytime, and we're going to scavenge through this house. All this stuff here is stuff that we need to go through, all these piles. What I do in this situation is I don't take the stuff out of the piles. I leave it in the piles except for the building materials. You want to take as many building materials as you can. Lumber, materials, parts, electrical components we can leave for now. And what we're doing is kind of building up to a point where we're going to be able to build a workbench. So if I haven't said it yet, so the purpose of this game is to survive as long as you can until there is a peace treaty or until peacetime. It's very random. You never know how long it's going to be before peace comes, and honestly, there's so many different scenarios that you can start off this game with. It's different every single time you play, which is just awesome. This is by far my favorite indie game that I've played up to this point. So what you want to do now is, so you're kind of going through everything. You're at to the point where you have to dig through these piles of rubble, and the best way to do that is with a shovel. In order to get a shovel, you need to build a workbench. So let's build a workbench. As soon as that's done, we'll use the materials that we just scavenged to build a shovel. We're also at some point going to need to build a crowbar to get into some of the locked areas of the room. So what we want to do is at 8 o'clock p.m. every day, we have to go and scavenge. The sun is down. It's safe for us to get out. So we only have until that time to scavenge. So if you don't get everything done the first day, it's not a big deal. The game does start off nice and easy. So let's build our shovel. So what we'll do is try and use these guys in unison. So I'm going to start Roman digging through the pile. It's going to be really slow up until that shovel is built. Once that shovel is built, he'll tear through that pile with no problem. And then we'll go back to scavenging different areas of the house until we have enough materials to build a crowbar. Right now we do not. So now he's going slow. He's going to stand up. Now we have the shovel in our inventory, and he'll tear through that pile pretty fast. Okay, at this stage of the game, you should have enough to make yourself a crowbar. We've gone through the house pretty well, and the workbench is done. So there you go. We do have enough for our crowbar. We'll make this real quick. What's going to happen is this is going to give us the ability to break locks to get into the cabinets, which usually hold better stuff. So just real quick on a side note, those cards in the lower right-hand side, those are actually bios. If you bring them up, you can actually see, you can read about the stories behind the people, but more or less what their addictions are. So Katya needs coffee, Roman's a smoker. So back to the game. You can see the symbol has changed for the door on the cabinets. We're using our crowbar to break into it, and let's see what's in here. I'm sure it's going to be high value stuff. Yep, there you go, a bandage. We can use that on Roman. Lockpick. We'll leave the books in there for now. We don't really need books right now. You should have books in your inventory though, because it helps them to be able to sit and read. It helps them with their stress levels. So we'll just keep going through here and breaking as many of these cabinets open as we can before nighttime comes, which is actually going to be any second now. So we'll get Roman bandaged. And that should just about do it. Grab as much stuff as we can before we get interrupted. And it is time for our first scavenge. What we're going to do is we're going to go day 1 through day 5. So we'll do 5 days at a time here. It's a lot easier. So this is the screen at night for the night. We're going to have Roman Guard. We're going to have Katya Scavenge. We're going to pick the ruined block of flats right now. We're just going to go through it. Take what we think we need, because we haven't been there yet, so we don't know what we need. So let's just take our crowbar. I've been there, obviously, but I'm just saying, for the series, let's approach it as we haven't been there yet. So let's take, we'll take the crowbar. We'll leave the lockpick for home. We can open more doors with the crowbar. You can only open one lock with a lockpick. One lockpick, one lock, basically. Crowbar, you can do multiple. I think it's 9 or 10. I'm not sure. So what you want to do is, or the way I do it is, I'll scavenge. I'll go through this whole house now, floor by floor. This is the first one. I don't expect any resistance from anybody. It should be a very easy scavenge. Is usually you don't start meeting resistance until, like I saw, that the church was one of the places we can go to, and there's usually some people there who you have to watch out for. So what I do is now I'll fill up my inventory. I'll run here, and what I'll do is I'll just empty everything out. Find the next place that has loot. Run back in. And there's a method to my madness, because when we come back now, all we have to do is go to that one place and loot it. But you do want to run through the house and see what else you're going to need. So this is basically it. Would be nice if she had more inventory space, but, you know, there's nothing I can do about that. This is what she has, so this is it. This is how I scavenge. Grab as much stuff as you can. Fill up your inventory. Don't even worry about what you're picking up. Just get it to that other location. So you can see we still have plenty of time. You must be back by 5 a.m. Otherwise, it takes longer to get back with your stuff because snipers are out at that point. The sun's coming up. So usually by 4 a.m., I like to start getting ready to go. So we'll continue to go through this house. Like I said, this is the first house that we're scavenging. First day. I don't really expect a lot of resistance. You don't really even need to come back with a weapon. There isn't anything here to worry about. So you can see a couple of these doors have grates on them. That means we need to come back with a hacksaw blade. At this stage of the game, you don't have enough to make a hacksaw blade anyway. You have to upgrade your workbench. So we'll probably just go back and grab all this stuff. Day 2, maybe even day 3. Unless we get lucky and we can come back on day 3 with a hacksaw blade. So that's it. Now at this point, what you want to do is you're probably going to have to make some decisions as far as what comes back and what doesn't. Like I said, you really just want to concentrate on what you need to survive. So food and building materials is your best bet. So once you're happy with your decisions, from this point on, it's just a matter of scrolling through, trying to remember what you have. This way, when you're back there, you know what you need to bring back with you. Like, parts are very important, so you definitely want to bring parts back. Maybe even some weapon parts. I think you need those anyway, so you're going to need those for a hacksaw blade. All right, so day 2, let's see how we did last night. Pretty good scavenge. That's the longest of the next couple of nights, for sure. And we'll see if we were rated, and we were. So let's see. Did Roman was able to fend them off, which is good. That's his purpose. So now things kind of change a little bit. We want to kind of start thinking about food, feeding these guys, making sure that they're rested. Personally, the first thing I always do at this point is make a bed. But if you look at Roman, you can see now he went from wounded yesterday, slightly wounded today with a bandage. We don't really need to worry about that too much because he'll eventually heal once we get him some rest. We don't have to waste another bandage on him. So we're going to make the bed, and she'll build the bed. You know, after you make it, you have to build it. Basically, after you craft it, you have to actually build it. We don't have enough to upgrade our workbench yet, so the next thing you really want to think about is eating. Find a good place to put your stove, and we can get the stove built. We have, I'm pretty sure I saw some vegetables when I was scavenging, so we could make some stew, and we'll get into the whole cooking thing a little bit later on. Alright, so the next thing I guess we're going to have to think about is getting ourselves some water. Consumables are something that you need to get yourself water. Basically, it's a rainwater collector and consumables. A filter is what I was trying to say, is what you need to put in the rainwater collector. So it filters the rainwater, and you get fresh water from it. So craft your rainwater collector, and build that. And this is probably a good time to start going through the rest of the house, clearing up the rest of your rubble, these piles here that just block your way to get to the other places, you know, around your house. This house actually has an outside to it, a tree house that you can get even more stuff from. So yeah, this is probably the best time to do stuff like that. So make your filter, bring it back to the rainwater collector, and start collecting your water immediately. It's very important. Water is used for cooking and also for moonshine, two extremely important parts of the game. So now we can take Roman upstairs once the water is done. And we can use Roman to start going through the rest of the, rubble. Try and keep both of them busy as you can for now. Eventually, one's gonna sleep while the other works. So, as far as food goes, you want to try to make the option where you're using a vegetable and meat, because it uses less water. That way, you get 2 bowls, and you're only using one more item. Water item, I guess you would call it. So, alright. We didn't make it in time. Let's start our second night. We didn't make the food in time, but that's fine. We're going to need it tomorrow anyway. Second night, very easy. Go with a full inventory. You don't need to bring anything. We didn't have enough to upgrade our workbench to get a hacksaw blade. So, this is just going to be a very quick in and out. Grab what you can and leave. Scavenge. Nothing exciting about this. This is all about upgrading and doing whatever we can with the amount of supplies we have now. So the weapon parts I know I'm going to need, I think, 4 saw blades. So I'm happy with that. That's it. Scavenge over. That's why I love doing that, bringing everything into one place. So day 3, here we go. Let's see how we did. Did we get raided or not? Alright, so we were raided, but sorry that was a little quick there, but we were raided. Roman did his job, kept them away, and now it is time to start looking at these guys and seeing who needs what, you know. Katya is hungry and tired. I'll let her finish cooking. Roman's gonna go to bed. Let him sleep, and that's it. So the next thing is, at 10:10 every day, someone's going to come to the door. Not every day, but NPCs will come to your door at 10:10 a.m. if they're going to come. Sometimes it's Franco, like we have today. We're going to utilize Katya's bargaining skills and get as much as we can from him, and give up as little as possible. So the reason that I'm giving up pills is because I don't think at this point we need them. We need the stuff that we're going to get for it more. You know, like the parts, those gears, those are parts. We need those to upgrade our workbench so we can get our hacksaw blade. The rest of the stuff is wet materials. The reason that I get materials in wood and stuff now, even though we're getting that when we scavenge, is because later in the game, they become very rare and you don't get them as much. So you want as much as possible, upgrade as fast as possible. He'll hang around quite a while, Franco. So if you want to run through the house, through all your piles where you left your stuff, you can do that. He'll wait for you to come back. So we have all the stuff we needed. We're going to update our workbench. We're going to make our hacksaw blades. We're going to get eating. We should be able to feed Katya and Roman now, hopefully. And before you know it, it's already 5:20. We're going to be scavenging again. So now we'll get to go through those areas of the house that we couldn't get to. And I'm sure that's where all the high-value loot is, so to speak. So she's crafting those saw blades right now. And what we'll probably have to do is we might have to skip one night of scavenging unless we get someone to join us, because at some point they're both going to need to rest. So the third night of scavenging is all we need to do is bring our saw blades with us. We really don't want to leave too much. We really don't want to use up too many inventory spots because she doesn't have a lot to begin with. So saw blades are a one-time use. Use them once and you're done. So I think it was upstairs, yeah. So you see the symbols change now from the bars to the hacksaw symbol. We use the hacksaw to get in. And let's see what they were hiding behind here. So cigarettes. Cigarettes are kind of like currency now. Jewelry, good stuff. All good stuff. And more supplies. So, basically what we'll do now is we'll run back here, we'll throw everything in, and then we'll just have to decide, you know, what's the most important stuff to take with us. It's almost like chess at some point where you need to start thinking ahead and look at the stuff that you have here. You're going to get it all eventually, but you have to try and decide like a couple moves ahead what you think you're going to need for the next day. Because we're kind of limited in inventory spots and you can only come back once per night. So I'm really just trying to figure out what we need. So water is good. For food, we need those vegetables, very important. Parts, and that's it. The rest of the stuff I can leave here and eventually trade. So day 4, outbreak of crime. This means we're going to get raided a lot. This is kind of like a section of the game, you could say. This is the outbreak of crime chapter. So of course, the night is calm after I just said that, but that's okay. Nothing happened. So let's start off by taking care of our people here. They're hungry and they're tired. Let's see what we can do to kind of help that. Roman was wounded, I think, in one of the raids. We'll have to keep that in mind too. We're gonna have to get him a bandage before it gets any worse. You can see he's sad because of the constant raids and the fact that he's wounded. So what we'll do now is we'll get Katya fed. We're gonna take our hunger all the way down, and then we're gonna skip ahead to 10:10 a.m. and see if we get Franco or someone else to come to the door and if they can help us or not. Alright, so what happened is we got Anton, it looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the game and kind of leave and come back, and what it's going to do is it's going to start us off at the point where Katya comes back from her scavenge. That's a good way to, if you don't like the person you get, you can you leave, you come back, and then you can see if someone else comes. And that looks a lot like Marco, which, if it is, we have an excellent trio of people. Marco is a skilled scavenger, and he has a pretty big inventory. So we might be able to... Yes, it is Marco. So excellent. All we need to do now is just keep these guys happy, get Marco out to scavenge, clear out the rest of that, what was it, the villa? And yeah, this is good. I'm really happy with this. Very happy. Let's see how we do now. I'm going to have Katya sleep now because she's very tired. Roman will continue the guard, and I will have Marco scavenge. We're going to go back to the original place, the first place. We don't need to bring anything with us. And he's just going to run to my spot, fill up his inventory, and go. There's nothing remaining in the house. It's all been cleaned out. Everything is right here. So, at this point, I'm really looking for... Most of the building supplies are gone, but I'll take what's left. And then I'm going to start taking stuff that I think I need to upgrade first. Heal second. Take care of the people first, and then last priority is going to be stuff I need to trade. Sugar cubes are very important because they you need them to make moonshine, which we should really be starting up soon. So weapons and ammo, not so much weapons, but ammo is not really something that I usually take that very last, if at all, because it really isn't something that I've ever had to use. I usually find enough ammo as we go along without having to take the components to make it, and it requires an upgraded workstation for that. So we were raided, and this time they actually stole some stuff: water, our shovel, and some food. That's not a big deal. Let's skip ahead to 1010 and see what happens. See who visits us. So it looks like it's Franco, so let's see if we can get Katya to make a good deal with us. Maybe we can kind of recoup some of the losses from last night and use some of the stuff that we got from this from last night's raid. Meaning the jewelry, the cigarettes, and we could really use some materials, some parts. Maybe some food. Lumber. Alright, so a vegetable. Well, we have a lot of sugar, so we can spare some for this deal. But he's still not going for it. Not really sure what else we can give him. Maybe a fertilizer. So it looks like that worked. That's not a bad deal. We can do that. That'll give us what we need now to start our still for our moonshine. Moonshine is very important because it's you can use it for trading, and you could also use it to make pure alcohol. You need to build something else for that, but a distiller, I think. And then you could make pure alcohol, which can be used to make bandages and stuff like that. So let's make our still. So with the still, you need two things. You need water, and you need sugar. You also need a fuel source to light the still. So we have everything except the water and the fuel source. But that's all right. We're going to make water now. One filter makes 4 units of water. And that's it. So we have everything going. We're at day 5. I think at this point we're gonna call it. And yeah, that's it. So far pretty good. I'm very happy with this trio. We have a very good group of people here. That's going to be it for this episode, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with days 5 through 10, and I'll see you for the next one.